Hey everyone, welcome to another Zwift Race analysis video. I'm trying to grow my channel, so if you could all please do like, subscribe. That would be amazing. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So you can see here that we're currently in the Zwift Classics race. This is the Watopia Cup, so it's the second week of the Zwift Classics series, a 7-week series that I will be participating in every week, except maybe next week because I'm going on vacation. But that's besides the point. So for the first week, I did this race at the exact same time and on the exact same day. It was extremely competitive, and some of the best riders in category B showed up to the race. They were extremely good Zwift power ranks, and I got a pretty good gain from that race. So I showed up again, and there were around 100 signups, and 80 showed up. Again, there were a lot of strong riders, and last week we actually set the fastest time for the course for category B, so we were looking to do the same on this course, so that we could do we could stay near the top for the Zwift Classics GC. You can see here that we currently have 2.5 miles left, and I'm currently holding on to a featherweight power up. I was trying to save this power up to the finish of the race, but I knew it'd be tough because there are a lot of riders who would attack on the short incline that was actually coming up. So my goal was to just hold on to this power up. If I really need to use it to jump back onto the group, I would, but the goal was to save it to the finishing sprint because I needed a power up if I wanted to stand any chance against these riders. The first lap of the race was like extremely fast, and riders were doing 4 to 5 watts per kg, just trying to hold on to the group. So was I, and it was a very fast start. But once we dropped some riders and the group settled down, the pace slowed down a bit, but we were still on target to set a record pace for this course for category B. So you can see here that I'm staying pretty close to the front of the group. I didn't want to get dropped, and I wanted to have good positioning coming into the climb. I ended up dropping a bit back on the climb, but I managed to move up before the hard part started. I knew that this group was also anxious to get a fast time on this course, so I was extremely ready for an extremely hard final climb before we headed down on the short descent headed towards the finish. So you can see here that I'm just chilling in the group. I'm starting to drift to the back of the group, which isn't great, but I continued to keep my power low because I was trying to lower my heart rate and really get as ready as I could for the finishing sprint. Some riders that I was watching out for were Robin Anderson, Mike Abraham, and Patrick Molinari. Those 3 riders are extremely strong. Patrick has his Zwift power rank of 91. He's currently one of the top 5 category B riders, and he's extremely strong. He's capable of racing A, but he still has his Zwift power B. So right now I'm kind of dangling off the back, and right here I realized that I'm drifting away, so I need to bring the power back up so I can rejoin the lead group. Sorry about that. But right now we're about to head up to the climb, so we're going to see if riders do attack extremely hard, or if I am able to just keep my power pretty low and save my energy to the finishing sprint. Immediately after the gradient starts to kick up, I immediately start surging because I know that riders are going to continue to keep this pace, and this is not even the hardest part of the climb. Once we get up to the steep part, that's when riders actually start sprinting. But right now, I'm feeling like I'm already suffering. I'm not really sure if I'm going to need to use my lightweight power up or not, because that would have helped me a ton. You can see all the riders here using the featherweight power up, but if I can save my energy until the finishing sprint, then I'm in an even better position to maybe pull off a top 10 finish. But I wasn't expecting much because of how strong the group was. But since I did have a lightweight power up, and you probably saw there that probably at least half the group used their featherweight power ups on that short bit, and the rest of the riders are going to be using their anvils right about now. So that leaves 90% of the field without a power up, and I'm one of the 10% that does still have a power up. On the first lap I did get an anvil and it helped me a ton on the descent, but the next 2 laps I did not get an anvil, and the second lap I was going extremely fast because of the anvil, so I was pretty worried about the descent, and getting dropped on the descent is probably the worst thing that can happen to you after you just put all that energy into staying with the lead group and you just get dropped on the downhill. So I was playing it pretty cautious. I was doing around 3 to 4 watts per kilo to try to stay with this lead group and really set myself up for a successful finish. You can actually see that there's one rider off the front, and I believe that rider is going to be the rider from RWB, I think, or it might be a source from Tugazi, but I'll bring up confirmation at the end of the race. But you can see that rider is still at the front, and Robin Anderson is the rider that you see just go right now. He's worried that he's not going to get this win, and he knows that there are quite a few Zwift power ranks available for this race, and this is when I start my sprint. I think I actually started my sprint at a pretty good time, but I was a bit too far back on the group when the group started sprinting. I was going around the same speed as those riders up front, the group that had Mike Abraham and his teammate in that group. So I think if I had actually been towards the middle of the group, I probably could have done a top 10 finish, but other than that, there's not much I would have changed. If you take a look here at the finish, I'm going to bring that up real quick, and you're just going to see how close that finish actually was. From here you can see that it was a very close finish between around 5 riders, and those riders ended up all beating me. So I think if I just gone a little bit earlier, I probably could have, or been in a better position, I probably could have beat those riders. That's all I have for this video, but the Road to Category A video will be coming out on Saturday, so please check that out later.